All right, everyone. Welcome to our final session of Love Yourself Well. This series has been about coming home to yourself, releasing what you no longer serve, rebuilding with vitality, and stepping into deep, lasting nourishment. Tonight is all about sustainability and how to keep your heart and body thriving long term.
Mm. If this is your first session with us, which none of you it is, but maybe you're catching the replay, my name is Amy Kernicki, and I'm a regenerative health practitioner. I'm a trauma healing specialist. I'm a Reiki master and sound healer. And my work is all about helping people break free from that toxic buildup, physically, emotionally, and energetically, so that so we can all step into our greatest experience in this life and have deep renewal and vitality.
And I'm Michelle Roland. I'm also a regenerative health practitioner, a clinical iridologist, clinical herbalist, and detox specialist. I help guide people in restoring their bodies and reclaiming their energy by helping them release toxicity physically, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. And my work is about more than just detox, it's about remembering who you are as an electrical light being and reconnecting with the rhythms of nature to support deep, lasting healing. And so true nourishment goes beyond food. It's the thoughts that we think, the emotions we hold, and the energy we choose to embody. So before we dive in, let's reflect on everything that we've explored together so far. Week one, we were reconnecting to self and understanding your body's signals. Self love is the foundation of healing. Week two, we were releasing what no longer served us, emotional and physical detox to create that space for renewal. Week three, rebuilding with vitality, regenerating the body, supporting cellular energy, and remineralizing. And then week four, today anchoring our lasting renewal, making this lifestyle not just a phase. So if you missed any of these sessions, the replays are always available for you to revisit anytime. What's one belief or habit that has shifted for you during this series? Drop it in the chat, or if you'd like to just share, just feel free to unmute and um, let me know what has shifted for you during this time. What has stood out to you? Amen.
I can share personally, I have been really working with the negative self-talk. I've put a lot of the notes up and just seeing those every day have been really helpful and really stepping into like this is my note on my computer. I am worthy of love and greatness. So really just catching myself if I'm saying something negative to myself and watching that, watching that. Oh, Shannon, I love that. Feeling more love for myself. Yep.
Me too. And me catching myself in those moments where either I'm speaking negatively or I'm feeling something negative, whether it's sadness or um, maybe just being upset over something. I'm always now, tr- well, trying to stay focused on what this is trying to show me or reveal about myself and how I can dive deeper and work through those feelings that are coming up, those old patterns that are coming up.
Mhm. Go ahead, Shannon.
Yeah, exactly. Like just being able to catch myself talking to myself, like would I talk this way to someone else? I think that's been a really big one for me is being able to catch myself saying things that are not serving me. So, like, uh, I'm stupid um, or even as simple as like, oh, I'm late. I can't do something, right? Like being able to like stop and go, wait a minute, let me reframe that into, hey, there's a short period of time. I need to reframe how I'm doing things so that I can, right? And look for solutions to things rather than just saying I can't do stuff and that, and basically I'm an idiot because I can't. So
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
wonderful.
one of the recurring themes that has been standing out to me is the fact that I say a lot to myself, "What is wrong with you?" And that's what it's been standing out this past week. I'm just like, I'll do something, or if I'm running late or forgot something, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, over everything, if you know, if something isn't perfect or if it doesn't go the way that I want, that's it's literally the words that I speak to myself, and I've had to really hone in on that and take a deep breath before I even think those words because I know now I catch it right before I'm getting ready to say what is. I'm like, here it comes, and then I have to look at myself in the mirror. It's usually when I'm in the bathroom when I'm beating myself up. I don't know. I have to maybe make that connection too. I'm in the bathroom beating myself up. Um, and I have to stop and then look at myself and say, nothing is wrong with you, Michelle. You are fallible. You are working so hard. You're doing the best that you can. And just rephrase that because then those other thoughts that I am ignorant, I am stupid, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not, it's and then it just cascades into that thing. Kristen, did you have a question?
Oh, no, not really a question, just to share the a few things that I've noticed. I've been pretty good about keeping up with writing my recent gratitudes and have added my like random acts of like self-love and kindness that we talked about in the first week. And that I really just love that I have that kind of self-love one added of like we talked about, even if it was just like I drank, a bunch of water today or whatever, that's been great. And I wrote a letter to my ex and that I haven't burned it to fire yet, but I have it. I wrote it. I don't know. I've been all over the place. When did I fly out? Um, I wrote it last week on an airplane, and I just was really clear. I was really just that was great, and I'm looking forward to doing kind of the full thing of burning it. But after writing it, I did talk to him, and it was like already it felt so much lighter. A weight had been um, lifted in my intent of how I wanted at the closure of the letter, how I wanted to move forward with how much energy I could really kind of give to him, and it felt really good. So now I'm really looking forward to burning it.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So you've lost, the energetic waste from that, and that's what makes you feel lighter and
Yeah,
better. But
yeah,
so that waste energetically has been lifted just from that act of writing. I mean,
yeah, it feels good. So,
yeah,
Yeah, tonight is actually a new moon. So, I mean, I usually
oh,
love to burn
nice,
stuff and get rid of stuff on a full moon and
nice.
call new
Because,
stuff in, but like tonight is a really powerful, energetic portal where
yeah, thank you. I was planning on looking at the moon phase and I didn't realize that that was tonight. So I
the,
think I
the
will.
planets are all direct too. They're
I
all
do know
direct.
that.
So
Yeah, yeah. I was looking at the thing happening tomorrow night with the planets. So, oh my gosh, I'm glad I brought it up. I think I'm going to do it tonight. Thank you.
yeah,
I
cool.
am too.
There we go.
Cool. Kate or Michelle or Emily, does anyone else have any? Do you want to use your voice of what you're doing? Anything shift?
Much the same, everything that everyone's talked about, similar with me. It's been, I've had profound changes actually in the last 4 weeks alone. So, yeah, it's been the cord cutting was particularly potent. And it's speaking to like with was it just who was this talking then? Kristen, yeah. Just how much and I do think, like I was talking to Matthew today too, it was like there's a parasitic connection to some of that stuff as well. And it's just remarkable how much a shift or what Michelle was just saying too about that energetic shift and how it's a release. And then suddenly this stuff that's consumed you for literally years, sometimes in a lifetime, is just vanishes seemingly overnight. It's gone. And what that's done is just opened up new opportunities to think about things that are far more like elevating and far more uh, I think have more relevance than being stuck in the past. So yeah, that's been a phenomenal shift. And you know, even talking about it. And the other thing I think that's very, even though I know I'm a little bit more silent, I'm working on being more open to talking. But
You're doing great.
thank you. But I would like to say that I don't feel so alone. And I think that everyone's stories that or circumstances that you've shared, all of you have some they're very relatable, even though they're different experience, but the similar feelings and similar exposure to those feelings and even like that negative small talk and all that kind of thing. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm so much of an island anymore. That like we have so much more in common than we have not. So yeah, that's been really wonderful. And I think I felt like really since 2020, I think that's been absent from my experience, and it feels very good to be in community. So thank you everyone for showing up too, because it's helped me very much so. So thank you.
Thank you.
Love that.
Yes. And this is Michelle, and I very much enjoyed the sound bowl last week. And I am also more conscious of speaking negatively to myself. And it's like Shannon says, if we wouldn't talk that way to somebody else, why are we talking that way to ourselves?
Mm. You know what, I like to look at the energetic shift because sometimes, we can get very discouraged and feel like the work isn't working, because it can be very subtle or it can be very extreme when you have a huge conscious awakening or revelation or exposure. Um, from releasing the weight, but I like to look at it and they're testing your eye and they're like, slide A or slide B, one or two. And it's like they're so subtle, but one's a little bit more clearer than the other. And that's kind of like how I see when we release that energetic weight, it can be so slight, but it's like you see just a little bit more crisper and clearer through the muck. And if even if you don't, because there's times where I don't know if you guys have bad eyes or have been through it to an optometrist, but there can be times where it's like, do that again, A or B, and like they're kind of the same, but they really aren't. They're that close. And so just want to encourage you to not give up anytime that you feel like you're doing all the work. That there is always an energetic shift happening, whether it is like, you know, extreme and right in your face, or it's subtle. When you're doing the work, you are, and when you're holding that vibration, you are changing your frequency.
Totally. Did you have something else to add, Shannon? Go ahead.
Well, you have two eye health people on here, but anyway, it's just coincidence. I know you probably didn't realize that. But when we're doing those tests, I just thought I would mention it in the same way that I think happens in our lives. The person doing the test can see that maybe it's a struggle to see the difference, right? So what we do is we completely change the test at that point. And so I think that we're tested in that way in our lives, and we'll see a completely different scenario to help then be able to focus on what the truth is behind that fine line that we're not able to see at that moment. So like in the future, or even right in the next second, we might see a new thing brought into our vision that then really helps us to focus in on what it is, the answer, which one it is, right? So I just want to throw that in there since there's an optometrist on here too. So
Thank you. That's a really good point. Thank you, Shannon. Okay. So let's get grounded. So tonight I'm going to guide us through a heart coherence meditation that we just did with our mentor Carrie this morning. It's so beautiful. It's also like if you're into Joe Dispenza, he does these kind of things too, that heart mind coherence. So we're going to listen to 500. So we're going to slow our breath down and do a visualization, and I'll be playing 528 hertz frequency music in the background. This frequency is often called the love frequency because it supports cellular repair, relaxation, and a deep heart expansion. So allow the sound to kind of guide you into a state of coherence where your breath and your mind and your heart will align in harmony. So let's get this playing. Can we hear the frequency? Okay, perfect. Yeah, if you want to shut down your eyes, if that feels good to you. And bring your awareness to your breath. So we want to be breathing in for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that in for a second. And then exhaling for 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So continue with this 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out, breathing. Just bringing your mind to a calm state, feeling your body supported by the chair that you're sitting in, and focusing on that breath. And now bringing your attention to your heart space, your heart chakra. I want you to imagine your heart as this radiant light, and it's expanding with each breath, filling your entire body with a sense of warmth and peace and vitality. Notice how you feel the energy in your third eye center and forehead. And have your heart start generating feelings of gratitude, of love and joy. So sometimes when I want to create this, I think I have a picture of Stella in my head, or someone I love, a pet. Or I start just saying thank you, thank you, thank you. So just noticing how you feel and letting these feelings of love and gratitude spread throughout your whole body and sending it to every single cell in your body. Really saturate your body with this love. So this practice will help regulate your heart rate variability. It aligns the nervous system, and it really can shift your emotional state towards coherence and balance. So maybe take one more deep breath in. And another 5-second exhale out. And when you're ready, fluttering your eyes open and coming back into the room. How's everyone feeling? Did that kind of shift energy? If you want to drop a word in the chat that comes to mind or anything, or come off mute. Kristen says peaceful. Yeah. Peaceful, peace. That's a good place to get yourself to every day, isn't it?
Yeah, peaceful. I think I resonate with that too. I felt a lot of peace during that. Thank you. That was so powerful. Thank you, Amy. I want to pause for a moment and notice how your body feels right now compared to when you arrived this evening. And just take a deep breath in again and out. And again, drop a word in the chat or come off mute. How you feel in this moment. What Amy has also guided us through here wasn't just a meditation, it was a real time shift in your nervous system, your heart rhythm, and your brain chemistry. If this is the kind of renewal that we want to sustain, not just experience one. We want to sustain this energy. And that's where deep nourishment comes in, because when you put in what you put into your body reinforces that energy that you cultivate. And so what's one way that you already nourish your body and heart? It could be through food, movement, mindset, or anything that supports you. Drop it in the chat or you can come off mute. Um, one way that you already nourish your body and heart, coherence. Grounding, yes. Grounding's so important because we have to ground the heart and body together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yes. Yes, nature time.
Mm.
Journaling, yes. Using the power of our words. And I loved our earlier meeting this morning too with Carrie talking about um, using the power, not just with our words, but the power within us as women. We're all women here. And talking about that, just how much power we have because we're designed to give birth to things, to bring life to things. And um, we can do that in so many ways, whether it is through movement or meditation or literally giving birth to another human being. So, whatever we are putting in, whatever we are receiving from the outside, um, that is growing within us, and we are able to put that out. So the journaling, using the words, the power of words, what we speak over, what we write, and how we feel in our thoughts, that's all giving birth to whatever it is. Because it can be negative too. We can give birth to something really nasty and ugly in our lives. So um, yeah, we're very powerful as women, powerful creators.
For sure. So let's kind of move into talking about how we can physically nourish the heart. Not just the organ, but the energetic center of circulation, joy, and emotional processing. So there are some beautiful herbs that we love. Hawthorn berry is a beautiful one that strengthens the heart and supports emotional resilience. Beetroot can boost nitric oxide for circulation and oxygenation. Motherwort releases stress-based heart tension. I actually have motherwort above my bed too. It clears dreams, keeps things clear. Um, Turmeric reduces inflammation and supports heart function. Pomegranates clears arterial plaque and supports blood flow. Um, Michelle and I work with a couple companies like Purium. Purium has an amazing product called Heart Aid that is a beautiful blend of herbs that's designed for heart nourishment. And then there's another one we work with that has something called Plus Cardio Care. Like, so there's a lot of things that we can actually use to the plant medicines that can work with our heart and our circulatory. Um, So try it now. So if any of you are drinking any tea or have any water, um, I'd love for you just to take a sip with intention. And we can do that with anything we're doing when we're taking herbs for our heart or for anything else, just sitting with what we're taking and reminding ourselves why we're doing it and what the intention is, whether it be for our heart or whether, like, right now I'm actually drinking kidney tea. So blessing whatever we're eating or drinking and making sure our body knows what the intention is for it. The intention is almost more powerful than the herb. So, so taking it with intention. Does anyone use any of these herbs right now already, or is there any other foods that you use for your heart? Are you curious about any of these? It's interesting how heart food, a lot of them were actually red, right?
Yeah, and the heart thrives when the body is light, fluid, and well circulated. So here are also some powerful detox practices that you can keep your energy flowing and regenerative detox practices. So we can hydrate with minerals like lemon water, coconut water, and using sea salt for electrolyte balance. Rebounding and dry brushing to help that lymphatic movement for circulation in the body. And then using the 528 hertz and 432 hertz music, which rewires their neuropeptides, supports cellular repair, and shifts our emotional addiction patterns. Also, breath work and cold exposure, which expands lung capacity, increases the circulation, reduces inflammation, and stimulates the vagus nerve activation for heart coherence. And so let's try it now. Let's do a 30-second breath reset together and sit tall and inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. And we're going to breathe in for a count of four. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then hold for 2 seconds. And then exhale slowly through the mouth for 4, 3, And then let's do 3 rounds together. Inhale again deeply through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 2 seconds. And then exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale again, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2, 2, and then exhale slowly. 3, 2, and 1. And which of these detox tools would you like to commit to during this week? Out of the hydrating with minerals, or rebounding and dry brushing, or using the Hertz frequency, or breath work and cold exposure? Is there something that you guys would like to implement that you haven't yet this week? I always tend to lean away from the cold exposure because I hate the cold, but as far as I get with that, and I've been doing this is funny. Um, I don't know if, well, most of us probably have watched the Mommy Dearest movie years ago in the 70s with Joan Crawford. And uh, in the movie, it talks about her being just like type A. Everything just had to be like so perfect. And part of her routine was like her facial care, her skincare. And I was like 9 years old watching this movie. And when I saw that part, her skincare routine, I started doing that. And it was just opening up, like she'd open up her pores with warm water, but she had a sink filled with ice water that she would go after she cleansed her face and removed all the dirt and makeup. And then she'd go and just plunge her face in this ice water. And I didn't know what I was doing back then, but it worked for me. And I remember kind of giving that tip, to a lot of my friends who had like acne issues. I'm like, oh, you got to try this, just open up the pores and then plunge your face in cold water and it works. But yeah, what we know now with cryotherapy, but that's as far as I take it. The cold showers, I've probably done that a handful of times, and I have a really hard time exposing my entire body to cold water. I've done cryotherapy treatments in chambers, but yeah, about it.
I build myself up cold showers. I don't know. I haven't done it lately though. But I've been moving through something in my respiratory, so definitely breath work is something I've been committing to more. And even just like those simple couple minutes, it's so powerful. Um, I mean, what's the statistic of how many toxins we can remove from our breath? Just trying to
It's like 75 to 80% of
figure.
our waste. Um, so like when we go through the detoxification process, we're trying to open up your elimination pathways, and those the kidneys, the bowels, and then your skin and lungs are kind of secondary, but it's a cheap way. If you can't afford to do an herbal kidney tincture to open up your kidneys, then we're going to be like, okay, you're going to work on some serious breath work at home and eliminate, 75 to 80% of your waste. And I look at our lungs as our car's exhaust system. You
Mhm.
can, it's free, and most of us are not breathing in those lower lobes. We're breathing in our upper lobe region, and it's just so shallow, which is why, like, when you have all that congestion and you start doing deep breathing, you start coughing stuff up, and it's all that congestion and that waste that's just been sitting stagnant in those lower lobes. So, yeah, that's
Very
a lot.
powerful. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So this isn't just about starting over. You've already begun. We've already started some of these steps and implementing some of these steps, whether it's, what we've been talking and saying to ourselves, and or the detoxification tips and tools. And so now the next step is just continuing this journey with further support and structure and deeper detox work. And so for those of you who are ready to go deeper, we have a step-by-step detox and renewal protocol over 16 weeks, one-on-one coaching with Amy and myself. exclusive herbal and nutritional guidance, and then a supportive community to keep you accountable through this all. So if you feel called to take this deeper, drop a heart in the chat, or you can message us privately with any questions that you have about the cohort.
Thank you, Michelle. I wanted to, I want to close with the singing bowl again, just because it is so powerful, and I have so much gratitude for everyone that's showing up. And this bowl is attuned to the heart, and I want to just take a couple moments when I'm doing this, and want you to show up for yourself in your own body with gratitude and love for yourself for being here. So I'm going to just ask you all to close down your eyes a little more and take some deep breaths and just soak in the sound. Big deep breath in. Letting those frequencies travel to every single cell in your body. I really have so much gratitude for everyone that's showing up for themselves during this month series. And thank you, Michelle, for collaboration and just the beautiful space that we've been creating.
And wonderful. Yes, thank you. I wanted to share with everyone that you guys are all capable of sustaining this, whether you continue with us in the cohort or if you are taking these practices into your daily life with you. Know that you're always supported through that. You have tools now that you can use to support yourself ongoing. And we would love to have you join us in a group community where we can all continue growing and expanding our light energy together.